Thank you very much. I have been very fortunate to spend the last few days with KK, and I feel like there's no leader in the HR space that is more passionate about people experience, employee experience than him. We had some questions that prepared, but I think we can scrap that, and I really want an authentic conversation with KK. Welcome, thank you for joining us on the stage.
Thank you, Jensen. I think it's equally my pleasure and privilege to be here with you. It was a good conversation yesterday. I hope we have a better one today.
Fantastic. And make no mistake, no one is here to hear me speak. They want to hear from yourself. For those that might not be familiar with the Essar Group, can you tell us a little bit more around the group and the nature of the workforce that you have?
Yeah, I think Essar is a conglomerate operating across various countries, including India, US, Indonesia, Middle East, UK. And we typically are into four specific areas: energy, technology, the infrastructure, and in terms of infrastructure we have in power, ports, shipping. In the energy space, we are into refinery in UK. We have a CBM block in India. We have a oil block in Vietnam. So similarly, we have in the mines and metals space, we are looking at setting up a steel plant in Saudi Arabia. We have a pellet plant coming up in Minnesota and US. So, and in the technology space, we have a technology company which is into networking and services called Blackbox. And then we also have new age companies which are part of the services. We have an entity called Pluck, which is into fresh fruits, vegetables, and particularly they are present in Mumbai and Bangalore. It is a new startup. Then we have a very new age one which is called Leela, which is one of our new platforms in terms of the fashion and related market. So it's a varied structure in terms of, we are in the manufacturing sector, we are in consumer facing, so we have got all kind of people there. So if you come to our headquarters in Mumbai, Essar House, I'll be coming up in a formal suit, and the guys in Pluck and Leela will be in jeans and t-shirt. So the guys sitting like Suraj keep on asking, why can't we wear jeans on every day? So that's a variety we have at your office. And so people from 21 to 65, that's a crowd we have.
Wow, what a diverse organization and diverse people within the organization as well. As a CHRO for a group that has such a diverse business, what's sort of top of mind for you? What are some of the employee experience trends that you're seeing?
I think it's there's a change in terms of how interactive it becomes, how responsive, and how it is two-way. If you go in a traditional way, the communication was always from the organization to the employee. I think that has undergone a change. Today we are talking about looking at getting feedback, or there is communication happening between employees to the organization or between the employees. So what we are looking at is, we do a lot of things. So like say our coal mine in Indonesia, it's in a remote area. Now, are they aware of what happens in Essar Power in Gujarat? There is a power plant of 1200 megawatt running there. Now we are commissioning a new unit out there, or we are doing something different. Now, so today what traditionally we used was communication which is there static, where it was on a SharePoint. We publish articles through the corporate communication team. But it is up to me whether I want to go there and read. So I think that's the change we wanted to bring in. I think to an extent, I think we just started the journey. We hope we go progress in a faster way in the next 3 months.
Great. Let's double click on employee communications. You've identified some challenges around making sure the communications is effective across a global organization. Before you joined Workvivo and are using Workvivo, what were some of the challenges that you experienced in terms of effective communications to all the different businesses and geographically dispersed locations?
I think one of the challenges always is there, even when you communicate something, it needs to be fresh, it needs to be relevant to the time when you are publishing it. Now, when you have a platform where the publication or the communication is happening through a via media, where there are multiple layers of that particular communication happening, by the time, so maybe the news itself has died down its requirement, or people are already aware of that. So, because we used to have only one channel of doing the communication. Now, the expectation today is, if I'm here today, I'm sure Suraj will be publishing it in the intranet by 9 o'clock tonight. So that's the difference in terms of, so that means what? I don't, at Essar Power, I want to communicate to my team. I don't have to be dependent on a corporate communication team or a third party to have that particular communication. And as an employee, anyone can do that. That's the difference. That's a whole set of difference, because it is no more coming from the top. It is coming across. It's coming from bottom. It's coming from your sides. So that's a fascinating part of it.
Sure.
Although obviously there is going to be challenges around that, but we'll see as and when it comes. We are not put any. So today we don't have a system of any kind of monitoring or anything before something gets published. But obviously the platform has the ability to control if we want to do something. But we are not sitting and monitoring beforehand somebody is posting something. We are not doing that. There is no policing of those sort happening. And that is the expectation I think everybody will have as an employee.
Sure, and I think it's trust within the organization.
Yeah.
For everyone to post according to the guidelines that the company and the values it represents as well. So what I'm hearing, it's important to be giving your employees the right information at the right time. You've been on the Workvivo journey for a short while now, implemented only I think a couple of months. How are you using the platform at the moment?
I think at this point, I think it has replaced the intranet platform in terms of the news flowing across our various verticals, and there is a lot of buy-in from the employees. I think we are around 70% of adoption in terms of the employees, and we went live around April 26, so just less than 2 months. So I think we are there now. The expectation, I think, what we want is it becomes a true communicating platform for including the business part of it. Today, it might be good that we are there doing events, we are doing birthday parties, or we are doing town halls, or we are doing World Environment Day. But then making it, the next step will be to have the business news, business awareness coming through the platform. I think that is the next step we are looking for.
Great.
So within Power, what we want to drive in terms of what is so we can drive including our targets, including what we are. So within a community, we can create those kind of awareness and that whole set of information flow which can happen on a faster and seamless way.
Sure. And I heard from the team that you're also running a few polls and interviews around the Cricket World Cup that's happening now, just to build that community and attract more people on the platform.
I think they already did a football one last week. So the next, I think the plan is to have on the World T20 World Cup happening. So I think there will be something happening tomorrow, because Sunday is the better than the final India-Pakistan matches happening. So between Friday to Monday, they will have something happening on that. Great. I think maybe this is one way of getting more people engaged, hooked onto the system. And the best part is for us is the leadership is on board.
Great.
And I think that drives the whole part of it. So when people see, it's not that just they are there, even the leaders are there, because they can see who has acknowledged you, who has given you a badge, who has put a like. So if I go, somebody has put a like to me, I can see who are the ones who are. So then you see your leaders are there.
Let's double click on the leaders, because getting leadership endorsement, and Essar Group is, for those, I would say is a more traditional organization. Like, what are some of the tips you have for other, whether it's HR professionals or internal comms professionals that really want to bring in a platform like Workvivo? What are some of the tips that you can give to get that leadership engagement and endorsement?
I think at Essar, one of the values we always have, we have believed in our people. The system, as an organization, there is tremendous faith in people. They give a lot of opportunities in terms of doing things on our own. So we are not micromanaged for everything what we do, and there are opportunities which are getting created. There are stories which are there. So I think, like, I spent 16 years with Essar. So out of my 33 years, more than half is with Essar. So, and we have people who have done 35 years. So we do have people who have just joined us. So every year we have our business leadership program where we hire from the top 3 IIMs from India, and we do more than 150 of graduate engineer trainees. So the workforce consists of people who are just there for 3 months to 35 years. So it's an open culture. It's not restrictive in terms of your thought process. It's restrictive in terms of what you can do. And people can move around the organization. Like say for me, my 16-year journey within the system, instead of having me job changes across other organizations, I moved within the verticals. So there are opportunities which are coming in through, and then you get things. I've been a man of marketing and sales in all of my first 15 years, and here is an organization which put me to talent acquisition, and then now I've reached up to a stage of a CHRO. We have people who are coming as graduate engineer trainee. My power plant chief operating officer who joined us 23 years back as the GET, he is my head of the operating power plant today. Wow. So we have similar stories. My head of M&A is a bachelor of the business leadership program, a product of 2010 or 11. So that's the way we have. So the keeping people with us, that happens through, when we had the communication happening, I think that engagement keeps people with us. And I think that's something which we have been doing, but I think this is the next step we are getting into.
Sure. And I know it was quite a thorough evaluation to make sure that you bring in the leadership endorsement, because as you said, those are the key people that need to be involved in the actual platform, do the posts. I know that your founder is one of the key and power users within the platform at the moment. Let's go back to that journey. Like, why did you choose Workvivo? What were some of the other partners that you considered as part of the evaluation?
I think we did 4 or 5 of them. I think we had Meta, Sociable, Oracle. So all of this we had evaluated. So my team, in fact, they did a lot of research. So the whole idea came from the leadership in terms of, for an employee, what they wanted was the employee should be entering one platform, irrespective of, you might have hundreds in the background. So my HCM platform runs on Oracle. We have the SAP, FICO and other modules which are running in terms of procurement and finance. We have a travel management portal. We have a attendance portal. We have a IT portal. So multiple portals are there. So that today what we are saying is they enter into one, they get into MySR, which is what we call the Workvivo platform for us. MySR, so it was always MySR. Our internet page was always MySR. Now the Workvivo platform has become a MySR for us. And so today I can log into any of these platforms by entering Workvivo.
Okay.
So that's the way we are. And then I think slowly we want to do, I think actually that's a question we have been pushing across with your team. Tomorrow I would like to get my intimation from other, like say a leave management. If my team has applied for a leave, will I get an alert in Workvivo? I think that's the next step we are looking at.
Okay, great. And was there anything in particular that you liked about Workvivo? Because I understand that the sales process or your buying process, you work with our team remotely in Ireland. What sort of
I think we took a great this thing, because the entire conversation when we initiated the discussions was with the team in Ireland, whatever is happening with work, Zoom was not really into. We started somewhere in October, November of last year, and they never had a presence in India at that point of time. So still we went ahead because I think what we felt, and you see, when we assessed the tools, it was not that 3 or 4 of us did that. Obviously, the teams did assess initially, but each of the platform were presented to a group of people, which involved the leadership, involved the corp communication team, as well as the HR fraternity, for them to understand, look at each of the platforms. So it was a joint call taken through feedback from multiple set of people. I think that's where so finally it was between Meta and Workvivo, and so today in hindsight, yes, the decision looks very good.
Great.
I think and on since you asked, I think in terms of implementation, I've been part of 2 major implementations earlier with SuccessFactors, then Oracle. I think this is one of those most smooth implementation journey where I don't think I've got involved at all. My team and the Workvivo teams were complete. So there was no disputes and there was no fights happening. Because typically that's what happens in a implementation when it happens. So it happened, I think your team had a target of 30 days. Maybe we went slightly slower and it got completed in 45 days. And the go live, I think we were at almost 30% of usage in the same first day, is it? One day. So 30% of users entered the platform on the first day of launch. Without making, so we did some teasers in between that we are having some changes happening to my SR, but I think that's where it is. And then the one more better part is the mobile app of Workvivo, because I've been using 3 other ones. So it has everything as what you use in the desktop. Or rather, I find it more easier to use the mobile app than the going back. I don't have to go back to the desktop to post something.
Great. And it's always delightful to hear customers that are happy and went through a good implementation. Yeah,
people say it's looks like a lot of like Facebook, but I don't use Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account. So for me, it is maybe I experienced that part of it through Workvivo.
Great. And how has the other experiences been with dealing with sort of the team because of the remoteness? And now it's great that we have more resources, we have the backing of Zoom. How has the interactions been with the Workvivo
I think
team?
I was hoping that I'll land up in Ireland to see the place. No, I'll have to come to Singapore now. That's a change. But I think it's good to see people now, because see, you always have an apprehension whether the organization is there, because it's ultimately you're saying we are talking about platforms which are on cloud, and where are they going to be, and is it going to be actually there? So, but I think the background and the credentials of Workvivo at that point of time, we did discuss with 1 or 2 clients and we did go around and search for the stories. I think there were enough strength in that for us to believe in that. I think at times you need to, if Workvivo can work in UK, that's one of the SRs. If something can work in US, it can work here as well. There's no harm to that. See, we don't have to have a platform which has run in India will only run in India. No, if it has run anywhere in the world, we are ready to adopt it.
Great, and thank you for choosing Workvivo. I guess to wrap up and on a lighter note, I know that you're quite passionate about your cricket. I have a background in Australia as well. There's a test series coming up at the end of the year where the Indian team is touring Australia, 5 test series. What is your prediction in terms of the results?
Mine is still the same as 3-2.
Which way?
India always.
Okay, great.
So I think it's going to be 2-1 for first India, and then it's going to be 3-1 and then 3-2.
Okay. I will check in with you at the end of the year to see if those predictions are correct. Sure. But thank you very much for joining us, joining me on stage and sharing some of your stories with the audience today. We've got Sashi up next to go through a live demonstration of the platform. But again, thank you, KK, for joining us.
Thank you, Jensen. Thank
Cheers.
you. It was a pleasure.